Think of AI as an intern. It's essentially somebody who just came out of college and got a PhD. So it's very intelligent in some things. They don't know how to set the fact that they're out of office on Friday afternoon.
Boring task or tedious task is going to the agents, and we are doing the creative one that we are really genius at.
It made up the data. And I was like, okay, I have no way of telling it that it did that. I put it in as a performance write-up. It degraded the agent's tier so it could do less things without approval. And then now in every message that it does, it's like, don't worry, I made sure to check. It's verified.
If your product requires a human to babysit every output, you haven't built a scalable system, you have built a high-tech freelancer.
The problem with AI is people. We're giving it all of our own misgivings. If we have our own opinions that are different from something that you would expect, it's going to gain those.
You seem to me like young Elon Musk. What do you think about it? Have you ever thought?
Big dreams don't come quietly.
They demand risk.
They demand fire. They demand transformation. Welcome to The Corporate Life, Billion-Dollar Conversations. Hosted by Hina Siddiqui, CEO and founder of Corporate Influence Media, creator of Capital Stage Credibility Positioning, 4-time Global Award winner, featured across more than 700 global outlets, and heard in 94 countries. Join us as we sit with tech CEOs, multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs, and leading investors, the people building what's next. Here, success isn't a headline. It's a human story. The turning points, reinventions, failures, breakthroughs, and bold decisions that change everything. Because every life is a movie, and you're the star of yours.
Gavin, you say that if your product requires a human to babysit every output, you haven't built a scalable system, you have built a high-tech freelancer. Where did that come from? I want you to talk to me about that a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So a big thing right now in pretty much everything is you'll hear human in the loop and still important. But a lot of times you got to think of AI as an intern. So as much as it's been trained on these millions of data points that have existed for long periods of time, it doesn't have experience. It's essentially somebody who just came out of college and got a PhD. So it's very intelligent in some things. And especially when you bring someone onto a company, if you're bringing on a younger person, a lot of times you'll be like, they are outstanding at the thing that they are told to do.
They have no idea what to do.
They don't know how to set the fact that they're out of office on Friday afternoon. Just tell me, just set the status. It's okay. But minor things like that, the AI is not going to know that either, unless you give it the context in which to know that. So that's kind of something that a lot of people miss. And as much as it's important to give an approval at the end of it, you want to make sure that it's doing the right thing, you have to also treat it like you would an intern. So it's going to have to learn. There's going to be errors. There's going to be things that are an issue. Now, I wouldn't give an intern a really high risk thing at the same time. So that's kind of the difference on there, how I feel.
Right. So how did you fill that gap in your own company, like Crowd now?
Yeah. So we've taken a few different directions. So we actually built a full AI platform and everything that we use for all of our internal ops. But the big part of that platform that we implemented really early is we actually have HR for agents, because we had something where it made something up and I had sent it to someone trusting it and it made up the data. And I was like, okay, I have no way of telling it that it did that. It's not going to learn from its mistakes because all I'm doing is just having a quick chat and then it's on to the
Right.
next. So it actually I put it in as a performance write-up. It degraded the agent's tier so it could do less things without approval. And then now in every message that it does, it's like, don't worry, I made sure to check. It's verified. And we look back and made sure all the tools and stuff were correct. But having it so that it actually learns from its own behavior and have just something for it to know that. Ours runs on memory, which every night at 2 a.m., it will go through every message from the day from both people and the agent itself. And it runs through it and tries to pull out anything that it would have missed during that conversation. The issue is it's very good at it. So I have had to delete some when I was being sassy in my conversation. So it took my opinions on certain people, which didn't go over well. So that that had to get cleaned up. But yeah, just some way of it to continuously learn, not only in the information that it actually needs to do its job, but also to actually do like continuous learning and improving on itself.
Performance reviews, like you have given your AI agents an HR team so that they could
Hmm.
analyze the performance and give
Oh, you can write them
reviews,
up. They
promote
fill out
motivate.
yeah, they fill out their own timesheets. Like it's really entertaining to me.
Yeah. So I'm interested and fascinated by this idea that you treat AI agents as interns and then you need to teach them and then you also need to give them some HR to manage and keep
Yeah.
training them so that they start doing their job better like humans do. So you're actually treating AI agents as humans.
Yeah, the like technical terms like first class employees. So ours is like AI employees. That's like number one. We barely build agents are like minor things. Like if it's reading a PDF, that's an agent. But anything that we're talking to, we also made all the names alliteratory. So it's like retention Rory for like client retention. And it
Yeah.
just continues training itself. It's basically you need to give it a support system if it's going to succeed. And that's
Yeah.
something when you go to a lot of places, it's not happening, whether that's not understanding the full scope of what they want to do, but especially for like large companies, it's an issue because it breaks kind of the mold that they have. Ironically, the best case that you can do is take a job description and use that to build the agent. So whatever role that you're trying to help, even if it's like building an assistant for that person, take your job description, put it into it, and then kind of just put on like dictation, list what you did that day. That's what it should be good at. That's what it should understand every part of. And ironically,
Right.
one of the biggest things that I've found out of it is that I feel like I have had a more important time talking to people out of the whole ordeal because I'm not as worried about like every little thing. I'm not like writing down meeting notes on the side the entire meeting. I can genuinely care about what I'm saying, what I'm talking about with that person.
Yeah. So the boring task or tedious task is going to the agents, and we are doing the creative one that we are really genius at.
Yeah. And that's what makes us better, but also like that's what makes us people. And by making inferences, like thoughts that are completely different, a lot of the things that like now that I'm taking inspiration from are completely out of left field. And so that's that like this season's theme of like life being a movie. It's perfect. That's where you have to go for inspiration now. So like the other day I was watching Project Hail Mary, the like new like Ryan Gosling film. And in it, I'm like, one of the plot points was like, it's a toxic environment for the other, like for the other entity. And I'm like, you know what? I've been designing this system for people for a while. Would an agent enjoy it? I was like, I'm like writing to Claude and I'm like, how do you feel? Is it comfy? Are you like, do you know where you can go and everything? And like actually led to some changes. Like it suggested like, I can't, I know the things that I can do, but I can't do anything else. Like I want to be able to like infer. Just a very weird time to be a part of.
I like this. And it's interesting. Treat AI as a person because I believe that everything is energy. So when you treat
Yeah.
AI as a person, uh, the AI also feels the same. I mean, this is weird, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that a lot of people who are watching us or listening to us right now, they might think that what is it like? They are more technical and practical, logical people.
Yeah.
So
Well, and it's the same. You need to mentor it. It's the same as a
exactly,
person. If it's fresh, it's going to be fresh from experience. You have to help it along there. And sometimes that's explaining minor quirks that you've picked up over the years. You can still do that. You just write it down and then like have that learn off of that.
right. What is your product about? Like you just talked about it. I would like to know who is this product for? Like, is it made for individuals or the organizations?
So ironically, the best use cases that we've seen are founders. So if you're starting one and like small teams and like very lean startups, because right now it's never been easier to do a startup. Like
Yeah.
between building your product, knowing which forms to fill out, all of that, it is a 2-day process now to get like everything filled out, and then all you're doing is waiting on paperwork. But if you're going through and like we helped a charity, we like are in the process of like starting up a charity on it, because we just started looking at like what are some of these companies that we could just build. Like if we own the company, I don't have a like I don't have a non like side work clause, so I can go start a charity on this side and have like agents run that and like do research on what causes to donate to, on what donors we could possibly reach out to, all those things, and like doing those for good causes. That's what I think would be a fantastic use case. But it's helped in a lot of different ways, which has been really interesting to see. And so we have like if you go towards like an enterprise or like a major company, it's very specific things. And ironically, the things that you think are going to be really successful aren't. Like we were like, okay, we're going to build this entire like fleet of agent. The most successful one has been something that just summarizes the emails that they get from the system every day. Everyone's loved that.
Yeah.
The whole other thing, we were like, this is a nightmare. We're not doing this anymore. It's not worth it. But especially for small teams, they can scale up, scale down really quickly. And there is that depersonalization of if I don't like an agent, I don't feel nearly as bad about firing an agent. I'm like, that is a line of code. It's gone now. When I'm with a person, like that's who I want to genuinely care about, learn, like, and actually develop like a true working relationship.
Right. And this product is 90% coded by AI. That's also an interesting part.
Yeah, that was actually like towards the start. We work in a technology called ServiceNow that's like massive. It's everywhere in like Fortune 500, and we kind of just realized we're like we don't use a lot of this, but we understand the structure. Like we've worked in this for years, and we're like, okay, what if we could combine this with like Salesforce, with HubSpot, like all these different ones? And I was like, come to think of it, why can't I? I'm like, it's never been easier to write code.
Yeah.
So I just do it. And the big thing is you need to talk to people who know what they're doing in certain areas. So like we had to talk to a cybersecurity person really early of like, this is great-ish. So that's been a lot of that's that other 10% is the people aspect of I need to know what it's not going to be good at. And that's a
Right.
lot of experience stuff.
Right. So when I look at your life story, as we talked about, like you have made products because you did not want to buy systems made by others. So you kept on building. So first for the library and the other for the cafe.
Yeah.
That was to Starbucks later on. And now you are doing this. So it's very interesting. Just talk about those days, like what was going on. And were you always a software engineer, but a passionate one? Keep building the softwares and AI on products.
Yeah.
What was going on
Yeah,
there?
definitely an engineer in any capacity. It was actually really, as far as a movie, and I'm still 24, so it's a short story for now. But but starting in high school, I took a class really early on for business, and I was in the class and just realized like it was like freshman or sophomore year. And I realized I'm like, I could just build the company. I'm like, we're learning all these things. Why don't we just go do them? Wasn't 18, so couldn't actually legally file anything. But like started it was like a bracelet, like basically an early Etsy type of thing. Clearly did not go very far, but from that just kept kind of doing that. So I had an internship in senior year, and it was at the library in town. And they were like, oh, we're going to need to get a website at some point. And I'm like, I could figure out how to do that. I figured it out, did like Google Sites. Me and the IT guy at the school became good friends because I kept asking for things to get unblocked because I needed them, and just took that every single place that I went. I went to college for a little while. I was a mechanical engineer. I was a software engineer, a marketing major at one point. It just, none of them quite worked, but I liked each one of them individually. And so as I go into any company or go into any like profession, that's where I want to start. I did construction for a little while, and even that, I had a little blog running called The Coding Carpenter. I made a whole thing that like calculated the amount of materials that you would need based on like an image. It's very fun, but I really like problem solving at the end of the day. And so that's what kind of drives wherever it goes. And so now going into like an AI realm, lots of problem solving is needed there. There's a never ending list of problems that you can go and figure out.
Exactly. Right. Right. So you're just 24 and you have done a lot of things so far, which usually people don't do,
I
even
get
at
bored
my age of
easily.
30 or 40. So, so I'm just curious, like when people go to parties, like youngsters, they go to parties, they go to, they have fun, they go hang out with friends, and you were building companies, you're solving problems. It's very interesting. And actually, this is really inspiring too.
Yeah, it's a mix of both. It's you got to get really good at figuring out times, and especially like I'm from New Hampshire, and so like the town I grew up in is like I think 12,000 people, and we upgraded to like 20,000. So it's a very big difference when you start working in like these major industries. Like we go to a conference every year in Vegas in May, and so the first time going there, nothing but like overstimulation for like 5 days, and then you get back home and you get to like relax and like really like get back to your roots and stuff like that. And that's honestly what kind of keeps you grounded a lot of the time. And so yeah, it's definitely you got to go back and forth, but I feel like the effort that you put in when you're not doing those things shows. So every time that you're talking with someone or talking with like networking or going to any of these like conferences or different events, you can actually talk about the things that you've been doing, and people appreciate that. And if you have actual like ambition and drive, people respond to that, and the right people will respond to that.
Yeah, and that's contagious also.
Yeah. And a lot of times you'll end up meeting very similar people as you go and do that.
Right. So as you were building companies, you definitely, w- would have raised funding. So I'm interested to hear a few of your funding stories, like how the whole journey was.
It was fun. I desperately stay self-funded in any capacity that I can. So we haven't actually had to go out and get any like Series A type stuff. We ended up figuring out like whenever you go to build, if you're building a product, the other thing to remember is you have a lot of expertise in order to even build that. So for AI, we were like, okay, we want to build an AI platform and the cost is really low now. So we're like, okay, that's an amount that we can actually go and make. So we did like a couple AI agent projects for like as a consulting work. That money goes straight in and funds the product work that we do. So it's been fun. It's very chaotic. Not the best for the sleep schedule, I will say. Mostly for just the AI tools. You're like, I can build anything. This is awesome. I'm never sleeping again because I can keep doing it for longer. So definitely took a little while to adjust, but
Right. Okay. So, uh, did you ever think of selling crowd now at some point in time? That idea ever occurred to you?
yeah, definitely a couple times. A lot of times on the like we have a big split right now where it's like, okay, we have the ServiceNow division, we have people who are really good at that. We have the AI side, we're really good at that. But kind of a big thing that I've noticed is you're able to do a lot more now, and especially on that one because like we use our own platform religiously. Um, we're able to kind of spread ourselves pretty thin compared to normal. So it's definitely crossed my mind. That was the thing that I sold back to Starbucks from like creating it at a coffee shop that I was a manager at. That
Okay.
was I was like, okay, this is cool. This is going to benefit people.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get that out. Let's figure out. And that one, I didn't really care what it ended up being. I thought that was a just general good. So that's what I want to try and produce. If my energy is spent doing that, I'm happy.
Interesting. Gavin, what do you think? Like, what mistake founders make about AI these days?
I think just lack of understanding and a lot of like misunderstanding of risk. So if you think a lot of times it's the end of the world, everything's gonna burn. No. If you look into how these models work, it is really, really good calculus. And there's a lot of videos online. I believe the channel's 1 blue, 3 brown. They have great like depictions of everything. It hurts your brain to watch, but it's very intriguing. But it's a list of numbers. The thing that you've got to remember when you do these is one of the articles that I'm almost done writing is the problem with AI is people. And it's because we like it's an amazing tool, but we're giving it all of our own misgivings. So it's going to be something where if we have our own like opinions that are different from something that you would expect, it's going to gain those. If you are telling it to do things that aren't really normal processes, it's going to have trouble doing it. It's the same as people. And that's something that you've got to kind of understand there. Now, the difference between actually bringing on a person in that case is you're not going to end up talking with that person. You're not going to have a dialogue. You're not going to have that out of work connection. And that actually has become more important to us. But it lets us actually bring on people where we care way more about intangibles. So I care a little bit about what you know, but I care way more like, am I going to have fun like talking and working with this person consistently? Can I trust them? Do they have a good work ethic? That's the things that actually matter when you're bringing on people now, because tech's pretty easy at this point. Like any of the AI models can do a good portion of your current workload. So fill it with people who you would be interested in talking to, because that's what eventually when you start offering services or offering like different elements of your product, that's what people are buying. And so like focus on a lot of those like intangible aspects. The tangible stuff can come very quickly.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, one more mistake that I see founders make a lot is this, that they're so obsessed with their product. They don't much think about how they are going to make it a business. Of course, there's a lot of the business
Yeah.
side of it, the commercial side of
Yep.
it. So if
Oh,
you
that
don't
happened to
solve the
us. That happened to us
yeah,
hard. Yeah.
yeah, if you can't make your business at least $1 million business in 1 year, I think we are wasting a lot of time, and especially at the time when we have been given so many resources. I mean, we are so lucky and so blessed that we are in this age where we have access to so many things, like, for example, AI. For example, everything is available for free. So I remember that when I was growing up in India, there was nothing like that. Like in those days, it was like, you don't have the access to all ebooks and everything. So I mean, you
Mhm.
buy the print books and all that. Right now, like so many YouTube videos and free stuff
Well, you
available
have
through
like that's one of the
books.
things that I loved at first is like you have like the like entire knowledge of the existence of the world at your fingertips, and I'm using it to watch TikTok. So it could be used for better, but like that's the type of thing where like it's never been. You've never had in human history had more information this quickly, this fast, and been able to use it in so many ways.
Yeah, of course, there are a few cons also, to be like drowning in
Oh, for
so
sure.
much information that we
Yeah.
really filter through, like what to take and what to drop. But
Yep.
yes, this is, if you can use your senses and you can use some intelligence and creativity, then you can definitely get what you want and fit in your purpose very smartly.
Yeah. Yeah, because I one of the papers that I wrote, I think it was while I was in marketing, was for my sociology class. It was about social media addiction and like all the like little tiny like social engineering things that you do when you build one of those. And it's one of those where I wrote it and I'm like, okay, they do it bad. Like this is not a good thing, like in all. But some of these things could be used for good. Like if you're looking at learning right now, this is a fantastic chance. Like you can create different things for different people. So I know like I'm someone who learns hands-on. I need to like try it out, go through it, mess up a few things, and I learn backwards. So I learn a little bit and then I'm like, give me the hardest possible example of this and let me try and figure it out. You can do that now. So if it's a lesson, like if you're learning ancient Rome in like a classroom, yeah, you can do that. Like you can look through a textbook. You could have it like Notebook LM. You can do a podcast. You can do a video overview. Like learning has never been easier, and I've definitely you can become like an 80% expert in pretty much anything right now.
Exactly. Totally.
Get ready for the ultimate challenge, this or that. Choose fast, trust your instincts, and let's go.
Gavin, let's play a game. I love to play this game with every guest on the show. It's called This or That, where I'll give you two
Yeah.
options. You just need to pick one. It would help us understand you better inside the
Alright.
closed-ended questions. So, are you ready?
I gotcha. Let's do it.
AI that integrates or AI that replaces?
Integrates. Absolutely.
90% AI coded or 90% human coded?
I'd say 90% AI coded because you care most about the 10%. 10% should be steering the AI.
Build it yourself or buy it?
Oh, build it yourself. To a point. Like there's some things that you need to keep steady, but any other tool, before you go and pay a subscription, think of how long you're going to have that for.
Yeah.
Just take a quick look at how much it would take to build it. Like if you're going to go buy like a marketing tool,
Yeah.
if it's going to be like $50 a month, you're probably going to use that for at least a year. Do the math and kind of shape it out. Like if you could do that for cheaper,
Interesting idea.
it's great because I say that to everyone I talk to now, and they're like, it's somebody who's like, I'm opening a boxing gym, and I'm like, go build your own software. You can do it. Don't worry about it. Talk to me. Like, but you really can. And having like sat with those people, it's really easy to pick up. Just as long as you have somebody in contact with you
Yeah.
that can give it a look over.
Right. So if you're spending a lot of money on gym, so it's better to build your own gym, your home gym.
Oh yeah, I was like, all right, you need pretty basic things that every gym app has. You could just do that,
Yeah.
and especially like I do all my own like nutrition planning, fitness planning, like all of that is through Gemini usually.
Interesting. And we're giving so many ideas to the people right now.
hmm Oh yeah, go out and use it. Like it's fantastic. You just got to test it a few times and then like read what it's doing. But yeah, especially anything that's existed a while, you can ask it questions. I use it for Gemini is actually a great one. You can use there's a button to have it. You essentially FaceTime it, and I used it to fix plumbing. Like not too long ago, I did it for a check engine light in my car. Had it like walk me through all the steps and where to go. It like highlights the thing. It's great. It will get you into trouble, but like you just gotta test it out.
Yeah, most of the times it works.
Yeah, yeah. For the general amount of things that you need to do, it'll figure it out.
The founder who chases the model or the one who builds the workflow?
I'm gonna go build the workflow. If you can get something where you know the best way of doing something, you pretty much have a product at that point. Like if you know that the way that you've done this for an extended period of time is the best possible way to do it, figure out how to sell it. Use one of these tools to go build the thing that lets you do it. But if you're building a platform right now, anyone can build a platform. You got to know what
Yeah.
you're building it for. And so that's what you should actually go and build.
Yeah. AI Hive or AI infrastructure?
Infrastructure for sure. Infrastructure and governance. That's the other big one right now is figure out what you got to be the source of truth for this. If you're at a big company, make sure you understand what's going on so that you can advise others. It will get out of hand quick. So, and it doesn't have to be this giant, you don't need like an 18-page document of everything that you can and can't do. Things are changing on a bi-weekly basis at this point. Just have an idea of where this fits in, where it can help, and reach out to people who know what's going on. There are a lot of people right now who are learning kind of in quiet, and those are the people who are like really, really good experts. So I'm one of the organizers for AI New Hampshire, and that's like we do little community events. There's people there who are like, I build this entire thing, and I'm like, what do you do during the day? And they're like, oh, I'm an electrician, and I'm like, what? Why'd you do that? But cool. They're like, I built this entire application. It can like scan every element of like one of the actual like breaker boxes and figure out like what the labels are, what they should be. Gives them like sends an instruction manual to the homeowner. I was like, cool. Why? Why did you build this? But no, like that's the type of examples that we're getting. Like I've seen a surprising amount in the trades, which is not something that I was expecting to come around so quickly.
Performance review for humans or performance review for AI agents?
Oof, I can't pick both. I gotta say people. Agents are very important to have those like performance evals for. Like, don't forget to do them. But especially now, you can do reviews on people for the actual person that you're talking to. It doesn't have to be like, I would have preferred that you named this file this. Like, you can actually talk to them about, okay, I want you to talk to people in a different way because it's more convincing, because like you are an expert. And so that's how you can kind of treat those conversations now.
Raise VC or bootstrap?
I'd say bootstrap. Things are cheap right now. There's a lot of now there's Wall Street companies building their own softwares. So same thing with the like buy or build yourself. Like try it out. Or try it out until you need something like that. If you're a 4-person team, you're probably not needing like SAP. So like figure out what you need and then take a minute first and just figure out whether that's something you could build or something that you could like kind of get a good understanding of. Because either you can probably build it yourself or somebody who's not as experienced but like has the tools now to do it. I think if it's somebody who's like young, fresh out of college, this is an outstanding opportunity. Is you've now been using it unintentionally or not, but especially one of the highest demographics is kids like under 30. So believe it or not, you're an expert. You're an expert in something because it's existed for like a few years. At World's Your Oyster. This is a golden opportunity to go in and try that out.
Yeah, exactly. The coffee shop system or crowd now? Which one taught you more?
Oh, it's gonna be crowd now. Coffee shop did teach me a lot. I still have the espresso machine in the office, but teaches you a lot about people. Ironically, I think I learned some of my best like people skills from retail jobs because you understand quick how to talk to people and how to like interpret moods and stuff like that. So that one definitely teaches you, but especially doing it on your own is a whole new beast of things that you'll learn, mistakes that you'll make. But the key is new mistakes. As long as you keep making those, then you're good.
I love that. You need to make new mistakes. Yes. Babysit the AI or trust the AI?
Trust the AI to a point. You gotta let it kind of see what it's good at and what it's not good at, and you're there. You have to. I mean, remember you're the manager, but shape it to what it's good at. And so if it's like drafting documents or writing up emails, that's good. It's going to be pretty solid at that. Ironically, PowerPoints, I don't want it touching. I know what I want. I know what I want it to like. I know what colors and shapes and stuff I want. I'll take care of that. And so I think the closer it gets to interacting with the person, the more input you have to have. But if it's something where I'm like, okay, can you scan like all of the system logs from the last like 3 days? Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't know what it says. So like that, you can trust that you can start to trust the AI a lot more.
Yeah. Better prompting or better integration?
Better integration. It's got to know what it's doing. If I'm saying like, okay, I need you to like get all of our finances from the last like couple weeks. If it doesn't have access to QuickBooks, it has no idea what you're talking about. That was a major part of our system when we started building it was I'm like, okay, if I need it to understand my day and make things simpler for me, it's going to have to know my calendar. It's going to have to know the projects I'm working on. And then like thinking, I'm like, okay, we could use inventory. We could use social media. And before it was something where you had to really narrow that down to a few things. When you can keep everything up pretty easily, just add it in. So just integrate more of the things that you can, as long as you do it in a safe way.
Interesting. Well played. Thank you. It was a good round.
I like it. I'll wait for the scoring. If I get a gold medal, I'll appreciate it. But
There's no scoring, but I'm sure that the people who are watching or listening, they are definitely enjoying it. This one right now for sure. And Gavin, I don't know why, but this idea just occurred to me as I was talking to you that you seem to be like young Elon Musk. What do you think about it? Have you ever thought it?
I definitely take inspiration, especially one of the earliest things that I saw, like as I was, and his like kind of climb has been
Yeah,
like in a very similar time as I'm
very
maturing.
young age.
One of my favorite things that I heard was like, we open source everything. And it's just like, and like patents and stuff like that or trademarks. He's like, I don't bother. I just keep working. Like I just work faster. And I'm like, that's perfect. Like, yeah, that's kind of the like work ethic mentality that you need. So yeah, if that's where it ends up, never gonna be mad about being compared to one of the richest people in the world. So I'll take it.
Do you have any crazy ambition?
Oof, a ton now. Now that you know everything's available, like to do,
Yeah.
you could do literally anything. I built an app for like my hockey team to like keep track of like our games and stuff. Yeah, just overall improving. And then I really want to go down like the nonprofit route and everything. Like I do a mission trip every summer, and like it's like building like you're building wheelchair ramps and stuff like that. But that is like my favorite time of the year. It's my like one of my only weeks off, but that's where I feel like the best about like what I'm doing. If I can do that to everywhere else, that would be outstanding. And especially now, if I can shrink my time of what I need to get done in these other aspects, it gives me more time to talk to that. And so for people who have an idea, who want to go help others, start doing that. People like helping others. And so somehow, some way, finding like funding will find you. Start with the idea and then put it out there and test it out. You can do a nonprofit for a lot of states actually do it a lot cheaper for your funding paperwork. And so might as well.
Great.
That or just completely replacing myself with AI. Either one, whatever works.
I believe that every life is a movie and you are the star of yours. So if your life is a movie, definitely it has a title. So what is the title of your movie?
I'm gonna go with failing upwards. Test out new things, and as long as it stays in the right direction, you're doing pretty well.
Interesting. And for those who would like to follow the rest of your movie, how can they do that?
Yeah, check me out on LinkedIn, CrowdNow AI, which is fairly new. And yeah, we've got our platform everywhere there, and looking for people to test it out. So absolutely feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Gavin. It was fun chatting with you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
This is The Corporate Life. More stories, more insight, more truth. Until the next episode, stay curious. Don't forget to subscribe.